And here we go. Here is another episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode on the Joshua Files podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope everyone is having a good day and enjoying the Father's Day from yesterday. I know I did because, well, my dad never came to visit, so fuck my dad, that's for sure. No, all jokes aside, I hope everyone had a good day with their fathers or like their grandfathers or their uncles, that's related to be a father figure, or even has someone that is married as a husband figure and has got kids. That is, it's always like a good thing as well. So yeah, it was quite like a hectic week for me last week, considering I did like 4 podcast sessions. So we should be back to normal now, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely.
It was quite a mad one, to be honest with you. Oh man, the amount of times I need to sleep so badly. I obviously did 2 late sessions in the States, but that's all done for now until I think next week or maybe in September.
Okay.
I can't remember. So
a good week, basically.
Oh no, yeah, it was a good week, but I was so busy with work as well, so I was quite exhausted. It's just like I can't do much about it. I have to deal with it, with whatever I got in front of me, and obviously there was some stuff being rescheduled here and there, and I had to work it out. And some of it actually helped the other people as well, just to keep a bit more flexibility in there. So that's what it matters. Anyway, so thank you very much for everyone who's tuned in, to give this another session a listen. This is episode number 20. Fucking hell, 20 episodes already. It's a good step, to be honest with you. And it's been almost, 2 months? I think it's almost been like 2 months since I've done this podcast session. It's all good. Anyway, so today I am here with a very, very nice guy. He's got a big bald head, and he loves to show it off very much. That's for sure. And I'm sure he's waxed it very nicely for today. Very extra shiny.
Shiny.
Yeah, exactly. He is the guitarist of this Total Consumption as well, and it's a very good band. It's a very, how can you put it? It's a grind band, is it? Yeah, sure, man.
Sorry?
The bass, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Did you ask me because you cutting out maybe
Oh, okay. Well, there isn't literally much I can do about it, but we're going to have to try and tackle it much as possible. I've been having some technical difficulties all day today, so I don't know what it is with some stuff, especially Twitch, but let's just try to keep moving much as possible. So here today I am with Mr. Matteus Carpentereus. He is a very nice guy, and I've known him for, I would say, a couple of years now, perhaps.
Probably, about, it was that party gig I was putting on that I knew at, so that's like
I remember that.
About a year and a half.
Yeah, I would say roughly about a year and so on now. Definitely.
Yeah, roughly a year.
Yeah. But anyway, you're here, and I'd like to ask how you've been doing lately with this whole situation that's been going with everything.
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously, at the beginning of the year, there wasn't particularly, not particularly good. I think the lockdown has, because I've been obviously staying in quite a lot, like it's just given me a bit of time to maybe just reflect and, just clear mind to and feel a lot better for it. So, yeah. Had a lot of mental health in ways as well, but
yeah, no, I understand that.
It's been a good
Yeah, it's both of us, as people don't know, I've got mental health issues, and I've mentioned this a few times on the podcast. I don't remember what episodes it was, but Matteus, as he just mentioned, he's got like some mental health issues, and he's just basically just mentioned about how it's very difficult for people that has mental health to actually stay inside as much as possible when they've been trying to stick to the procedure as much as possible. I don't want to drive onto it to that topic too much because some people might get uncomfortable with it. So
yeah, of course.
All I would just say is, it's great to see that you're still doing whatever you can to stay positive and keep yourself in the same matter, in the mind frame.
Thanks, man.
And it's very difficult for people that has mental health to say, I will go out today and actually just enjoy it. But then at the back of your mind, it's like it's not safe, and you should be sticking to the protocol regardless.
Oh yeah, of course, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, we.
So it's at the end of the day, we're both doing the same thing, along with other people that we know mutually. A lot of people, whether they're musicians or whether they're like music fans or, people like my ex-partner, for example, that works and she's struggling as it is. There's tons and tons of people that has mental health issues, and a lot of it is more to do with depression, anxiety, just to feel like social anxiety as well. There's tons of it. BBD as well. So it's literally, there's a lot of it that is affecting everybody day to day, especially staying at home, especially if you've got no one at home with. Like I live on my own for the past 8 years, and it's like a tough topic for me to actually mention it and be open with, because sometimes you don't know how people are going to respond after saying something like that. Some people would normally, like majority of people say, "Oh, you're a guy, you should man up," and it's just like, that's just.
Oh yeah, I fucking hate that.
That's not the way how we should be respected. Like, we would respect women if they have, well, once of the month issue and have mental health as well. So we would try and show gratitude and show like we have respect as well. But sometimes the human race is a bit of a fucking problem. And on that political matter, COVID-19 is a fucking annoying situation for everybody, not just us two, but for pretty much majority of many, many people. With
definitely.
Our country is, how could I put it this way to not get really deep into it? Our country is basically too rushed in to get everything sorted again.
It does seem a bit all over the place. There's something. Apparently, there's what do you call it? Announcement tomorrow about pubs or something like that. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but we can only see.
Apparently,
it might be a bit soon for pubs.
They were supposed to be open in July. If pubs do open in July, it's going to throw everything out of the window. And literally what I mean by that is everyone's not going to give a shit anymore about responsibility. They're just going to think of themselves selfishly, and it's fucking annoying,
Definitely.
The hairdressers has got like a policy where they have to stick to 2 meters. Same with the barbers. You have to wear a face mask as soon as you get in the barbers and stuff like that. So you can't have your beard shaved or anything like that. So that's a bit different, Gyms in the UK, like the one I went to until I cancelled my membership, is they only allowed to reserve so many people per day.
Yeah, local one trying to say that if you're a member, you have every day that you want to go, as
Yeah,
for
you
social
have to reserve
distancing
you have to
sort
reserve
of
a
things.
slot the day before you go in, and if you miss the day,
Yeah, yeah, basically.
if you miss that day slot, then you're basically losing your right to actually go in there, and someone else has to take it. Where
Yeah,
you will get in trouble for that as well. It will affect your membership if you keep doing it over and over again. So it's a bit of a tough situation, not just for us, but for every other country as well. They have their own problems, but
yeah.
unfortunately, we're getting rushed too quickly to get back to things to normal. Like shows apparently are coming back by the end of this year, and I think it's just not acceptable at all. It's too risky, and I think you know which
It's
show.
risky, definitely.
I think you know which show I'm talking about because I posted it today of the show that I'm saying is too risky. It's been announced today. It's in the new inn.
The new in?
You don't know which one I'm talking about then, no? Basically, within
No. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I haven't really been keeping an eye too much lately.
okay,
Because,
so
I don't know
basically,
why, but...
no, that's cool. Basically, Within Destruction just announced they're doing a UK and Europe tour with Signs of the Swarm, Body Snatcher, and another opening band, and they're coming to play in
Oh,
London.
the gig announcement. Sorry, because of the cutout, I couldn't really hear you properly.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's November 11th, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
too early to do shows. It's too early, man. Like if if you have the show going, and you have like I mentioned in most of my podcasts that people they said there's a policy going through with the shows. I'm not going to any show until everything's back to normal. Point. Period.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of have Beyond the Grave Festival at the sort of end of November.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably early, but at the same time, if at the same time, we're gonna try, and if we have to post, then we have to post. But
Yeah.
I'm probably holding out 50-50, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Just to see
I
how it
really
goes.
understand where you're coming from.
Just
Though.
to see.
Yeah. It's like Pie Cans announced they're doing Pied in Half shows in the UK. That's in October to November, I think. And that as well is a bit too soon. You know, this is me just being honest. Like, I'm not trying to slate anybody to do organizing or doing shows and anything like that. Like, I'm happy for people to try and start thinking of something like that. Like, I'm friends with you as a promoter and a good friend, along with other people that I'm promoters with. But I would never want people to do shows until everything gets back to normal. That's my only concern, because
I hear you,
health and
man.
safety is really, really important, and it's going to be very vital if one person gets something and everyone else gets it too. You know, and then shit hits the fan. That's why I'm not happy with it, to be honest with you. But if it gets rescheduled to next year, it's completely fine. But nobody knows when shit gets back to normal anyway.
Yeah. Only time can but this moment, really. Yeah. We just got how it goes.
No, that's cool. So we're going to move on to the political matter, because I think I've pretty much ranted much as possible for the past few days about political matters. So music-wise, you are in a grime band called Total Consumption, and you guys are probably in a band for what, a couple of years now, probably?
We've been going since 2016. We performed in, I think it was February 2016, and I'm pretty much the only original member that's left in the band, because we had a couple of mates of mine. Asquith was on vocals. His brother Adam was on drums, and Adam is the drummer in a band called Ron.
Mm-hmm.
So we had pretty much us as a 3-piece, and we played probably 2 gigs in December that year. And then they pretty much they decided it wasn't for them. So I did a bit of searching, and I recruited Tom as a vocalist, and I'd known him for a few years anyway. I knew pretty much how professional he was with his other bands like the Toxic, Colpocleisis, so on and so on. So I thought, this guy is going to be like a really good addition to the band. And we probably went with drummers until a year later when Sean finally. So that's pretty much about 4 years as a band, pretty much.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool. Like I've pretty much known you guys for probably like last year or whatever, and it's really good that from what's your discography? Is it an EP and now you got an album as well, or is it no? You got 2 albums now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not like a proper album because albums are like Lickbird and trams and all that shit. But it's more of a plain EP, just longer. This the one that we got is about 16 songs, something like that. So it'll probably be about 20 to 25 minutes long, something like that. About the average set length, basically.
Yeah, as pretty much the band announced a new album. It's going to be called, if I can find it. So just I should
Inconvenience. No, the EP.
Yeah, I should have done my research. I know you guys
Sorry?
are dead. But I definitely
That's cool, man.
Spread of Dead, but the Spread of Dead was your current EP, and now you've got like a new album coming out.
Yeah.
So it's all good, man. Well, it's another EP basically. It's Inconveniences, and it's a very interesting artwork for sure.
What the Inconveniences one?
Yeah. Artwork was that?
Yeah, there's the artwork actually is. If you look at all the things like my head, for example, and like the cat and all the other things on it, each one of those items pretty much relates to one of the song titles.
Okay.
So we've actually got a single up now from that from EP, and it's called Baldness, and obviously the bald part on the EP cover relates to that song.
There we go.
So yeah.
Yes, so that's when are we able to discuss when is that coming out, or we can't say anything about that yet?
We haven't an official release date yet. We're planning probably around September time. So we need to sort out stuff like pre-orders and merch and stuff like that. We're probably just gonna do what we did for Spread or Dead, which is just like order some CDs in, some T-shirts, put it on Spotify and all that. Just the same as the last EP, really.
Sure. Obviously, I mentioned a few people, and I've pretty much said for most of the time on my episodes that Bandcamp has always been reliable for bands that are.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that, and I'm sure you, Sean, and Tom knows that Bandcamp has done once in a month type of scheme that does 100% donation for any fan, for example, that does contribution for the band to pay like a £10 EP. I know it's a little bit steep, but just follow me for the sake of what I'm saying is all that £10 is just go straight to you guys 100% for that one day, compared to any odd day where you get some percentage, not like Spotify where you just get peanuts. Basically, you won't get anything out of it.
No. Sometimes I look at the the amounts we get from Spotify, and it's just like it's rubbish, mate.
It's absolutely
Can't get a bag of crisps with it, bro.
it is absolutely rubbish. Like I'm considering thinking of just giving up my membership of a streaming service. I mean, it's good because I can take it with me and like I could just listen to it constantly because it's, some of this stuff has been downloaded on the app. But like I've purchased my albums on Bandcamp, for example. It is installed, and I have to play the whole album before it actually completely played offline. But sometimes Bandcamp is an issue where if you play a specific song, the whole album doesn't play for the rest of the time if you play it offline. So you have to be online with your mobile data constantly to make it work. It's just a little bit weird how that is possible, you know. I've had so many times with me, and Bandcamp would be great if they can fix that shit, but if they don't, then that's the only thing that's going to hold them back from people, that they can't play anything online. It has to be like constant online type of feature. But it's unfortunate. But yeah, I always
bit like gaming these days.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like it's video games, for example. Like we can discuss that. You know, we have to download the stuff online.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
And we have to update the game online to even play it offline. Like, what the fuck? You know?
It's like, I think it was Destiny. That was pretty much all online. If your internet dropped down,
it was. It was always
whatsoever.
Yeah, no, that's true. It was an always online feature, and it was so bad. You know, the DMRs on the consoles, it's like you have to stay online to make the service work. Like, not many people want to do that, you know, and many people just
man,
have to pay for the membership.
I want to be able to play with other people sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, in the future, I'd rather play some PC gaming content. I'm considering doing that in the sometime in fall, when most of my bills and everything is covered up and like my financial bills are done. I could just invest in a gaming PC, and then I just don't have to purchase any membership for next year on the consoles, because I'm saving like £50 for each year, you know, where if you just do it on Steam, for example, you just need to buy the game and you're just getting the internet service for free. And the weird thing is, Excel is sometimes online on the consoles, they always have server issues every goddamn time. Hackers sometimes get involved.
GTA Online is always server issues. And it's been out for how long? Like
7 years.
7 years since the old Xbox 360 days. Like,
yeah.
And it's still got fucking server troubles.
Oh, mate, it's abysmal.
Madness.
Abysmal. And obviously it was announced on the newer consoles. GTA 5 is going to be on the newer consoles. Like, I just don't understand why. You know, I just don't understand it. It's bullshit. We could discuss.
So you cut out a bit when you were talking about the new consoles.
So I'll repeat that again. On the newer consoles coming up to like the end of this year, Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to be on those newer consoles and not GTA 6.
Oh yeah, they had a re-release. Oh mate. Oh, there's no point. There's no point whatsoever.
I guarantee you what it's going to be is the newer 4K resolution, and that's it. That's literally it.
That's literally it, mate.
Yeah. Or what you can do is get a gaming PC, add the realistic mod, you're good to go. That's all you need to do. You know, that's literally it. You don't need to worry about fucking the newest console to play the latest game. You don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I mean, it's really ridiculous.
I think
What's that?
I think I probably will get the PS5 when it comes out,
Sure.
but only when like a gaming comes out. I really want to Stay Blast 2 gets a remaster.
If you want my
Bang that.
recommendation, get it when Cyberpunk comes out, because that's going to be added on to the newer consoles as well. So
What's that again? Sorry.
get it with Cyberpunk 2077. Did you hear me?
No. It keeps cutting out.
It must be your phone though, because I'm completely fine.
I think it might be my wife. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm getting a bit Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So in
This is
no, it's fine. I'll repeat that again just in case. In the newer consoles, you can get it with Cyberpunk 2077, and that would be my recommendation.
Cyberpunk 2020. Okay, I've heard that now.
Yeah, it will be really good. Really good game.
I haven't really seen much about the game, to be honest.
Mm.
I need to watch more trailers to see if I can get it. But yeah, if I did like the trailer and then play it,
yeah, I'll definitely give you the list of what you should actually look for, because there are some games going to be coming out later this year, and some of them might be backwards compatible. So it might help you a little bit, so you can play the PlayStation 4 games on the PS5. But I'm going to look into it and see what happens. But let's touch on the fact that you are a guitarist. How long have you been a guitarist for?
Fucking hell. I started 2007, and I'm 17 years old. I pretty much started with I tried to go into the deep end quite quickly. I tried to learn like Knot and Sepultura.
Yes.
Without learning stuff like we call it like harm muting and all that sort of stuff. So it just sounded like without any chuggings or anything like that. And it was the biz, but then I started in actual chords after yeah, I think it came to about 2008. I actually started music college. Cool. And I learned quite a lot of stuff there, like theory, which I took most of, and I just learned a lot about signatures as well, and I eventually started learning metal properly in 2009.
No, that's good.
So yeah, as for like influences, it depends on what sort of style. Yeah. So if say example like death metal, for example, I'd say some main influence would be like, I don't know, like maybe the band, maybe. Okay. I don't know. So I'm really shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Would you say your influence came to like Death, Cannibal Corpse, Napalm Death? Let me think.
Yeah, Napalm Death, I'd say, is a big inspiration for what I do with Consumption. For example, Napalm Death, Pig Destroyer as well. Two of my favourite grindcore bands ever. As for like death metal, I just listen to so many bands. It's just like I can't really choose my main influence. It's just the death metal genre.
Yeah, no, that's what was the first soundtrack in your youth that got you into like wanting to listen to metal? Point period from now on.
What got me into metal in the first place? I think, mostly through playing WWE games back in the day.
Very nice. Very nice.
So like, say SmackDown versus Raw.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like, I swear, I think there was one SmackDown versus Raw that actually had Megadeth on it.
Did it?
And yeah, it was like a Megadeth remix or something like that. And it was Symphony of Destruction. So I looked
I'll
at
have to look at that and see if I can find it.
I sort of got to Megadeth like years ago, but I don't really listen to Megadeth much these days. It's hard to tell really because our memory is a bit of a sometimes. Yeah, just very got me into music, like fucking just like remember the take you to walk out to like fucking hip and all that, even though this wouldn't consider them for metal, that got me into like wanting to hear other bands that were better. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Like you had some influences like rock or whatever that got you into metal as well. That, like for me, I listen.
Yeah,
to
exactly. It's too many in general though.
I did a little bit of research. It was the first ever SmackDown vs. Raw, 2006, that had Megadeth Symphony of Destruction on there. So you was right. I just couldn't remember which one it was.
Yeah, it was Megadeth Symphony of Destruction.
Yeah, it was on 2006.
Sorry?
Yeah, it was 2006.
Yeah.
So you was definitely spot on.
Yeah, that would be it. I've had that on PSP.
Yeah, that was the old days, man. Like, definitely enjoyed the old games and everything.
The good old days.
Where we didn't have to worry about politics or anything like that when we was young, for sure. What actually get you want to be a promoter? Because for the past couple of years now that you've been a promoter doing some shows in the Black Heart, I've known you as a promoter, but what actually made you do it? Can you hear me?
So why did I start? So basically, what year was it? 2017. So 3 years ago. I wanted to try and get total consumption gigs, and we had shit all of following, nothing. So Unicorn, a gold builder was working at the Unicorn.
Yeah.
Put a message up on the Unicorn, asking if anyone wanted to put on a gig, because they had like a Friday come free or something like that. So
sure.
You know what? We've got no gigs. I'm gonna give it a try. Go on a will. And like 7 bands for it, including TC, and it was in April, I believe. So I actually booked Raised by L for their very first headline show in like ever. And it went down pretty well, like 3 I don't know how much the capacity of the Unicorn is, but I think we probably had about 20 to 30 people, which is quite good for the Unicorn, I would say.
I think the capacity is about...
I didn't really count at all because it was pretty entry back time, so we didn't keep a tally or anything, right?
Yeah. I think the capacity is about...
It was a really good time.
About 100 to 150 people, I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's the capacity.
Yeah, I think roughly the capacity is probably like 100, something like that.
Yeah.
That's my guesstimate anyway. But yeah, like, it was, when tried it for the first time, went, yeah, and, from there, I just do it again probably like 4 months ago, I think, 4 months later. And the second gig was at first in different really small, probably like 70 people, venue. I managed to book Basement Torture for my second ever gig. And yeah, that was another good turnout, and I think that's what really to getting all the shows, all the packages, tour packages booked for London shows. So I think after that was sometime in 2018 I put on like an all-dayer with like cryptic shit pulled out of that. So I raised Wales, Inebrious Incarnate, Repulsive for their last ever Repulsive.
Yeah.
And that very out of more to getting to book bands, Teeth Gripper, fucking Hate Diplomacy, as you remember. Party Cannon.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just been very Blood Portal as well, the Party Grinder.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it just happened on a whim, and I decided to stick with it. But it's not like it's more just like every now and bit of fun. Yeah, was on site. People I like it. People as well. So yeah.
No, that's understandable. What's your favourite highlight as a promoter? Was it booking the band like Hate Diplomacy, Party Cannon, or was it something like ever promoting like the Unicorn was like your favourite?
My favourite highlight. I think my favourite highlight must have been probably that party that I put on. Yeah. Because it was the release party for our spread or E as well, and the amount of people that turned up as the doors opened, because we got like 8 ticket sales, and then we probably had about 20 more, pay on the door. Like the amount of people that turned up at the beginning, I think it was probably like 40 or 50 people.
Cool.
So that was a big highlight for me. Because about new people got to see us for the first time. They got to see our material, and it was just a great experience. Like we got to support Party, and it's just how we all got to know each other, and we got a ton of fans. Sold the most merch that we have sold at that.
Nice.
And it's just all around really, really, really good gift. I'll pretty much always remember it.
That's good. That's a good achievement to have, especially if it was like an album release show or an EP release show. It's good to have like a good fan base that came actually to support, especially for underground shows. This podcast is basically about supporting the underground bands and the shows and the venues as much as possible. So stuff like that, it's really big accomplishments, like from promoters, so it's a fair play scenario for that one, man. I'm glad that actually that happened. But in my opinion, as we discussed earlier about shows coming back or starting in October, November time, would you say that it's going to be a bit too early to actually start doing shows again? Because realistically, we're not really back to normal.
Would I say it's too early?
Because, we are still in this procedure, and people would be like, oh, yes, we actually could do shows again, I think personally it's just too late, you know, to do something like that.
Maybe you're asking if I think it's too early.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of 50. I do think it might or might not be safe by November. As I said earlier, I think time will just tell, to be honest, because I think at the moment, I don't know if it's done down. It could be. A lot of the news is saying it is, but you know, you can't always trust the news.
No.
So I don't. I just think time will tell if it comes to October, for example, and you know shit's still hit the fan, then I definitely think it's too early.
Yeah.
But at the moment, like properly.
Yeah, of course, because basically, as I mentioned for the past few episodes, I go into the curve where the reason why it'd be too early is because we're still in a situation where nothing is safe, nothing is acceptable to actually do. We still need to be cautious about our social lives. We need to still be cautious of our jobs. We need to still be cautious about who we trust with when it comes to being strangers with other people, and whether they sneeze on the elbow or sneeze on their hands, and if they shake your hand, then you're likely to be thinking, well, he's just sneezing his hand, and I know this person for ages, why should I shake his hand or hug this person? The value of the trust that is going to be put into their hands to think that they are healthy, they are clean, they're safe, compared to the other people that may not be safe. As far as show goes, because the only reason and the only way that it's going to work is it's going to be a massive reduction of fans coming into shows, and that's going to massively reduce the fact that promoters are going to struggle with income. The bands are going to struggle with getting income as well for shows because they're not getting the money that they need. And basically,
definitely.
like the venues and stuff, they're going to struggle to keep the business going if they're not going to get enough people to like buy the drinks or whatever. I think it's just ridiculous that people are still thinking that it's going to be okay. I know we're friends with some people, like they're hoping there'll be some shows going through. Like, again, I'm not slating anybody that's having a enthusiastic mindset that's saying, oh yeah, a show is going to be great for us to happen this year. It really isn't, because again, we're just not safe yet. We're not out of the woods. We are still in the procedure of a level, I think it's a level 4, and you know, the only way that everything is safe when we get to level 1. We're still in level 4. We're still in that level of having to stay 2 meters. We're still in.
Isn't it level 3 at the moment? I heard we're in 3 now.
It might be 3, but
I'm not sure.
In my honest
I
opinion,
haven't been really keeping track too much.
I think, in my opinion, we're in level 4 more than level 3, simply because we're still.
Oh, you mean that's your opinion on it? Yeah. Fair play.
Yeah, because the only reason I'm saying it is because, yes, people are wearing masks, gloves, and everything wherever they go, but people are still doing massive gatherings, and that's still people mentally and trusting people, basically. Like, the police is doing their jobs by restraining people much as possible to do massive gatherings. I understand that there are some gatherings available to do with their neighbours, that's I know, but it's still not safe, because one neighbour that could cause a sickness out of the 6 or the 8 people is going to be absolutely a nightmare, and that's 8 more people in their deathbeds, you know. But unfortunately, some people are just irresponsible. But yeah, it's just frustrating times.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of people. There's definitely a lot of people having a lot of mass gatherings. I think I walked past a pub the other day serving outside the, outside the window basically.
Yeah.
And I think 20 people just sitting on the pub benches. And yeah, that was pretty much probably the biggest gathering I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not right.
It's all basically.
The largest gathering I've seen outside of my garden is about 13 people, and it's too dangerous, man. Unless we get told that everything is safe, I'm still not going to trust anybody outside of these four walls at all, because everyone is still dangerous to me.
Yeah.
And considering the fact I am a key worker, I do work in retail, so I'm getting more exposed. It's just, I would never want to risk anybody else's health and put them in danger. Alone my own safety and my own health. If I have to go out urgently, then I would do that. But other than that, I just stay at home by any means necessary until everything is normal. Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. I'm probably, when the gyms reopen for social distancing. Sorry, I can speak. I swear. When the gyms reopen again, they said they're doing time slot bookings. I reckon I'm just gonna wait it out on that one, because if people are just using the gym equipment as well, yes, they can clean it, but if people are using that, multiple people are using, say, the press rack.
Yeah.
Just saying, it's not really, I guess it's not really safe COVID-wise. Plus, booking time slot is just long.
The time
I think
slot,
I'd rather wait.
Apparently, the time slot is supposed to be only an hour. So if you're in there more than an hour, you get kicked out.
That's not enough.
And you can't really use the toilet facilities, shower facilities. You have to actually be in the gym for the hour, and that's it. You can't stay any longer.
Yeah, I'm definitely when.
Yeah, it's a tough situation though. It's really tough to have a accountability side, to have two people in the group where you've got one group of people that are taking the responsibility seriously, and there's another group of people just being irresponsible. And the business is pretty much the middle of the whole scenario, where the business has got to do what they've got to do. And if they don't stick to the protocols, then they can't work. And they're going to put other people in danger. But other than that, I've pretty much finished my ranting, and I think I haven't really got much else to ask, because we pretty much keep in touch pretty much most of the time anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
But so before we finish the podcast session, which is unfortunate, but we will have another podcast session when we get together again, when things are back to normal, and when we have shows again. I'll do sit down audio interview.
Hopefully I'll have better equipment as well.
Well, it's going to be an audio one, so I'll have a microphone for both of us to use. So
I blame it's got a really shit. It can't really pick up Wi-Fi that well.
Yeah, it says
it just doesn't. Some phones pick up better, but this one's shit.
It says that you've got the Samsung Galaxy J3, so I had the A3, and that was even worse. So I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I like to leave suggestions of recommendations for the bands that needs attention and needs awareness for people to
band shout outs, basically.
That's it.
So yeah, I'll probably teammates bands. Like for example, I'll shout out the side project Tom, for example, like my assumption. He's in a metal band called The Toxin. He's also in a stoner post-metal sort of god fleshy sort of band called Atomic Fog. So if you like your stoner, check them out because they are sick. Sean, his side project is basically my side project as well. His Disfigurement, which will be like sort of deathcore. We got our first in November. Just crossed next year, definitely. And mates bands from Manchester. Got our Primal Swarm, Pacific Musician, fucking Carpentereus, I think, more Liverpool based. I don't know. Let's just say it's up from north.
Yeah.
I've got to shout out the boys in Party Cannon, obviously, really good mates of ours. I'd like to shout out some boys from Bristol, like the Basement Torture Clean lads from Bristol, some from London. So I'd like to shout them out. DS Holocaust, really good Bristol. Like really old school death metal, so you can like that, check them out. Yeah, fucking I could go on, to be honest. My boys from Japan as well, Candle Rivers, we toured with them in December. So check them out if you like your Japanese experimental grindcore sort of stuff. They're doing a split with another Japanese core grind band called ABC, who I think are quite big. I don't really listen to them, but I'll give them a try. But I think they're quite big. So check out Canvas, basically.
That's cool. So what I'll do is I'm going to ask you, well, I'll message you as well, just to leave the list of, even if you give me more bands, just leave the list for me and I'll put it down on the description when I upload this video. And
yeah, I'll write a list. I'll just messenger.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do, definitely. I'll upload this video tomorrow morning anyway. But yeah, so other than that, I don't really have much to say because I've done big recommendation lists from my past 2 episodes. So if you have not watched them, go and watch them. One of them is with from Delusional Parasites, and also I've done one with Splattered, both on the weekend. I left a big list of recommendations for people to go and follow. Again, I don't have much to say, so with Matteus.
You did one with Vlad the other day as well, didn't you?
What's that?
You done one with Vlad from Extermination today, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. I don't think it was a big list, but it's the biggest hit at the moment. Let me have a look, actually, because the last I checked, it was a big view count. So we will we'll have a look before we finish this video. Well, I would look because I'm the one that's doing the check-in. So the one with Extermination Dismemberment is up to 191 views.
That's good, man.
Yeah, it's literally the biggest one ever. But for anybody that has not watched any or listened to any other podcast sessions, go and listen to each and every one of them, because each and every one of them has a different story, has different opinions, has a different taste of music style. You know, there's a big valuation of putting time for people, and I'm putting my time into it as well. It's a lot of work. There's 20 episodes in total right now, and each and every one episode is all worth listening to. By the looks of it, you're listening to worthily at least about 21 hours worth of content alone. up to 20 episodes. So
That
initially,
is quite a lot, man.
It is.
That's good though.
It is.
It seems the views have built up over time as well. So
yeah,
definitely.
I mean, I recommend anybody that has not done it, go and listen to the early stuff from episode 1, then all the way to episode 7, all the way to like 8, 9, 10. All of them. Go and listen to all of them because, as I said, it's worth the content. It's worth the time for people to go and listen to. I definitely recommend it all the way through. If you've got nothing to do, if you're self-isolating, do me a favor and do yourself a favor. Just have a day of listening to one of the episodes each day. It's just going to put you into perspective of how much I'm putting my time into it as well, while I'm a key worker and I'm actually doing the thing for the nation as well.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, exactly. Like I'm actually doing a lot. Like I'm not slating anybody. I'm not slating the fact that they've got less things to do or more things to do. Like I'm doing my own thing as well. Like I'm doing some work. I am doing
exactly, man.
Well, as a side project. It could be a big project, who knows? But I've got stuff coming through as well. One thing I do recommend other people as well, if they have got interest of video games, like me and Matteus just had a session about, I do Twitch streaming sessions. If anybody is a gamer and has Twitch, go and follow me on Joshua Worth 91. It's all in one word, and basically I do Twitch streaming at the moment. I've been doing Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm trying to do the 100% checklist. It's an absolute nightmare. I'm not going to lie to you. It's really a pain. But I am going to be doing different games for each evening as well. So I'm trying to do maybe Red Dead Redemption 2 story and do like 100% on that, perhaps. So I'm trying to have a variety.
Dead 2 will take ages, man.
I know. I know. But there's some new games coming out soon, like the Ghost of Tsushima that's coming out in next month. I can't wait for that. Cyberpunk is coming out this year. Crash Bandicoot, it's just got announced. It's coming out in October. That is absolutely great. I can't wait for that. There's literally some games coming through. Even Tony Hawk Remastered Pro Skater 1 and 2, that's coming out in September. I'm going to be grinding through that.
Doing Black Ops 1 remaster, Black Ops 1 and 2 remaster.
That would be cool.
For PS5 and Xbox Series X, apparently.
That would be absolutely cool if they did do that. I would actually...
Yeah, man.
I'll probably
buy that in a...
Most definitely would probably buy it. But yeah, for anybody that is a fan of gaming, go and, follow me on Twitch. A follow will mean so much more, because I'm trying to be like a definitive Twitch streamer, so it'll be something I want to do. But yeah, I'm doing a lot more than just Twitch streaming. I'm doing like this podcast, so leave a subscription on the bell, and then there's a notification bell where if you click the bell, every time a notification pops up where I upload every video of this podcast. Some podcast sessions are going to be really good in the upcoming weeks. I can't wait for them. But this one's been a very good interview as well. Every interview I do, it's worth having a chat with people that I've not had chat with before, or I have spoken to before, is to have a good idea of having the conversation with. But it's been really good to get in touch with many people like yourself. Like I'm pleased that we have this opportunity to have a sit down and have a chat, minus the fact that
man, it's been good, man.
Yeah, exactly. Minus the fact that technology can be a pain in the ass for everybody. No.
Especially my
So I definitely also suggest people to go and listen to Total Consumption and all the other bands that Matteus just mentioned. They're all very good bands. They're all local bands, especially in the UK. They all deserve the recognition. They deserve to have a listen. Support them, buy their merch, listen to their album.
Yeah, definitely, man.
He's definitely, especially on Bandcamp, go and purchase them digital. If you don't have the money, just go and obviously stream it on Spotify or whatever. But make sure you support the bands. because every opportunity they get from purchasing and, you know, the donations or whatever, it's a big step for bands to keep continuing and making more music and doing more.
It definitely helps. It's a big help, definitely.
Yeah. But especially for the local bands, it's for the underground scenery, because the underground scenery is really, really difficult scenery the most. But I'm happy being in there because most of the good music comes from there and the good people come from there as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. Other than that, I will leave you with the final words if you've got anything to say. If you don't, then we will finish this podcast.
The final word. This is how I get to say anything. And my mind's drawn a blank, I'm not going to lie. But I was just, want to say to, all my mates in the scene of total consumption, and just to, just anyone I know really who's watching this, hope you're all doing well. Can't wait to see everyone once all this COVID shit breaks, blows over rather.
Yeah.
And yeah, just, I hope you're all staying safe, and I'll see you all soon.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, everyone, I hope they stay safe and doing what they've been told to do. I know this is a difficult situation and it's a difficult time for everyone to stay at home much as possible. But we must stick to it. We must be responsible and we must just be wise of what we do. If you do go outside, just make sure you stay hygienic and just make sure you wear protection clothing.
Just sensible.
Exactly. Yeah. Considering the fact, some people are going to say, "Oh, it's not worth it," but it's to help people in security and just make people a bit more calm, and it actually does help.
Yeah, man, definitely.
But thank you very much for everybody. Thank you to Matteus for tuning in. It really means a lot, and we'll definitely have a chat.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. Like, I've never done a podcast before, so this is a first for me. So yeah, thanks.
It's not a problem, man. I'm happy to do that. Happy to have you included to the podcast. And him and I, that I'm going to obviously have a chat with you behind the scenes, and we will keep in touch. We will do get back together podcasts.
Yeah, man.
We'll have stuff like that happening. We will drink. We will just enjoy the music that we did before all this shit happened. We'll have a good time again. We will. Other than that, thank you very much to.
I'm craving that right now. Just
good
time with mates and lots of beer.
Yeah.
And lots of live, disgusting, heavy music.
That's probably why it's been called underground for a reason. It's disgusting. Other than that, thank you very much for everyone. It means a lot. So other than that, get ready for a Thursday episode where I interviewed Daryl Boyce from Scordatura from Scotland. He's a really good dude. We've known each other a couple of years, but we will have a conversation. Other than that, please look after yourselves. Please stay hygienic. Make sure you wash your hands or whatever the case may be. Just stay safe and just be wise of what you do when you go out. Just look after each other, just support each other, and that's all that matters. Other than that, thank you.
And don't scratch your balls.
Or don't scratch your balls, don't scratch your arse. And when you see Matteus, just rub his fucking ball head as well. Other than that, thank you very much, everyone, and stay safe, all right? Peace out.